quality relationships. Holistic living recognizes the importance of supportive, both family and the broader community. It's been, Roger, it's been so nice to have you come and worship with us, over these last few weeks. Why? We didn't know you, you didn't know us, but it has been enjoyable communicating. You've taken part in it becomes part of the community. And actually what I have found, I've traveled a lot, and to be able to go to a place where you don't know anybody, but if you recognize that there is a commonality, it makes a difference. Because relationships make difference. If you go to a place wherein people are doing their own thing, they don't include you, one, you didn't miss out, because you come there and you don't know anybody, but they miss out as well, because they don't know who is amongst them. And as when you're talking about holistic health, this is part of it. And personal growth, constant personal development through learning, growing, and evolving, key aspects of a holistic lifestyle. Sometimes we know what a holistic lifestyle is, but putting it into practice maybe not quite. So, in summary, a holistic lifestyle is about embracing a way of living that integrates all aspects of health and well-being. Now, health and well-being is the common term that is being used. But we all have different, I think we all have different definitions of this term well-being. Physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's an approach to life that is balanced, sustainable, and focused on long-term wellness rather than short-term. So, what's the vision for today? I don't know if you knew that we were doing a health day, but I'd like to hear from you too. What can we learn from today? The vision that I have is helping you and me reset, restore, and rebuild your health. One gentle, holistic step at a time. Now, we just said holistic life, it's a whole range of things that we're talking about. Changing it overnight may not be possible. In fact, I'm not even expecting any of us to change overnight. However, if we make small changes, it'll make a big difference in the long term. And those changes need to be small, consistent, and regularly. I'll never forget when I was doing some studies about this, came across this example. However big the door is, how big are the hinges? Quite small, aren't they? Small habits, but they can open huge doors. And that to me is what we can do. You don't drink enough water? We know water is good for us. We would rather go and have some pop. But water is good because there is a reason why it's good. It's good for the inside. If you ever think of having a shower, would you go and shower in colored water? No, you just want pure water. That's for the outside. We brush our teeth, clean water. Okay, what about the inside? Does that need cleansing? All the cells in our body need that. So what would you like to see today when we're talking about holistic? Any particular aspect of what we've just been talking about?
I'm looking for motivation.
Okay, and that is really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we know it,
Yeah.
but when we're putting into practice, we need to motivate.
This sort of gives me another kickstart,
Right.
another boost to continue, or as you say, to make changes.
Yeah, yeah. You know, a simple way to motivate. How does motivation come? Externally, internally? How does motivation come?
Often from others telling you their experience, how it's helped them.
Thank you. And somehow it reaches to you because you think, oh, I've been in that similar situation. And so sharing, that's where the communication comes in. That's where the relationships come in. You know, even if it's a stranger and they're suffering with pain or whatever, just sharing your story with them makes a big difference because it motivates them to make those small changes.
Encouragement.
Encouragement, yes? Yes? Okay, let me ask you another question. Why do I need to be motivated to change a holistic lifestyle?
To improve.
Sorry?
Sometimes it's to improve your health.
Improve, but that is, so you're recognizing that it needs improvement.
Yeah. Can I tell you, there's the story of, I'm sure you've heard it before, of the in the hospital and in the theatre, and the nurse, and they realised that they were not where they wanted to be health-wise, and one of the nurses decided that she was going to make a change. And the change that she made was to start drinking water and stop drinking the sugary drinks that were coming into her. And everybody was just amazed at how she'd improved, and they wanted to know what she'd done, and they thought she'd done something fantastic. She'd lost a lot of weight and she was looking much better. And she said, all I've done is I have decided I'm not going to have any more of these sweet drinks. I'm going to drink water.
Oh, wow. Simple things.
One simple thing.
Yeah.
I think for me, no, there's two things really.
Mm-hmm.
One, when it comes to health, and in speaking to a lot of people and even myself, for me, what I like to understand with it, it's health to me is not about length of years. It's about quality of life.
Yes.
Yeah? It's about being able to run up the stairs with your children.
Yes.
It's about being able to swim with your children, run around the park.
Yeah.
It's about enjoying life, however long you've got, with your loved ones. So that really is what health means to me, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
And also the second thing, really what I would like to look at today is, I'm a person that doesn't like to run to tablets first. I always like to see if there is a natural fruit or vegetable or something
I'm glad you mentioned
that I can take that I don't need to have tablets. So tablets are a absolute last resort for me. So when I hear of things that can actually help me naturally, whatever it might be, whether it's a headache or I've got a sore or anything, that's the idea, that's the side of health that I really like as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you mentioned it because that's exactly what we're going to be. And some of the reason why we've got all this is because God has blessed us, should I say, in abundance. And hence the gut-brain connection. You know, what are we doing to ourselves? You know, what amazes me is our body's innate ability to heal itself. When given the right environment, when given the right nutrition, the water, the lack of sugar, but we've got all this. And He's blessed us with it. And even when we don't have that, you know, the Bible very clearly says about the herbs for the cleansing of the nation. God knew that we would not be in perfect health. Why? Because we live in an imperfect world. But He has given us the fruits and vegetables. And I'd like you to also look at that other table where there are herbs. Simple things all around us that we can use so we're not dependent on medication. I'm not saying by all means, that we are doctors here or we are asking for the cure here. We need to take advice of the health professionals. But we have to take responsibility for our health. Why? Prevent, yes. Another thing is, nobody has mentioned it, maybe you've thought about it. I like to be in good health because I want to look good and I want to feel great. Like running around, traveling. Many times you can't do that, because this, and I'm in pain, and this, that, and the other. But we can make a difference by making those small changes. Remember I told you about the hinges. They're only small, but they can open big doors. So, the question...
How the land was covered with water,
Yes,
more than 70%.
yes,
Our body also will cover more than 70% with water.
yes.
When we have water in full present in our body, we will not fall in sick, most probably.
Correct.
When we have water, we can avoid so many diseases.
Yes.
Even after taking medicine, doctor will advise to take more water.
And sometimes people, on the amount of water they're taking is just enough to take their tablets. And yet if they have, like you're saying, drink more water, some of those diseases won't occur. Because the body is crying out for water. There's an alarm which has just gone off. Okay, so now I'm going to share some specific, categories. And see if you can relate to it. Okay? First one. Maybe the constant tiredness you feel isn't just about catching up. Maybe it's your body begging for real rest, not just sleep. How many times have you heard, I'm just so tired? Why are you tired? What's the body telling you? Are you listening to what the body is saying? But there are so many things to do. So, is it, and as we as maybe the adults, what we say is, well, as we age, we have this problem. Is it just that? Or we should know better. We should know that there is a time to play and a time to cook and a time to clean and a time to go to bed. But we don't. Okay, perhaps those pills lining your bathroom shelf aren't really fixing the problems. What we just said. Perhaps they're just masking what a healthier lifestyle could actually reverse. It's almost certain that, if you go to the doctor and have a health check and let's for the sake of the argument, say you're pre-diabetic. You know what the doctor's going to say? Ooh, you're pre-diabetic. You need to get on metformin or whatever. So to protect yourself from becoming diabetic. Is that the answer? Is that really the answer? Or should we look at, hold on, diabetes is a lifestyle disease. Blood pressure, lifestyle disease. Coronary heart problems, lifestyle disease. Obesity, lifestyle disease. You know what that means? That I am responsible for my health. And I am not doing what I should be doing. Lifestyle. So when we're talking about a holistic lifestyle, it's lifestyle. So coming back to some of these diseases. Okay, another one. Possibly the reason you can't lose weight despite trying isn't willpower, but inflammation, insulin resistance, and a stressed out body crying for balance. One of the first things I said about holistic lifestyle is balance. If you don't have the balance, something is going to go wrong. Now, I have lost my, not lost, I don't know where my, I have a little wheel, okay? this is a wheel. If you think of the spokes of this wheel, I use the term start anew. Okay? S for sunshine, T for temperance, A for air, R for rest, T for trust in God, A for attitude, N for nutrition, E for exercise, W for water. Yeah? These are the various spokes of start anew. If we don't have a balance, this will not roll. So, I mean, I have paper somewhere, but I think it's been tidied away. I wanted you to take the time, and we'll do that in a minute, but take the time to actually say, am I in balance? It doesn't matter how big the circle is. I might not be 100% nutrition, 100% water, 100% exercise. That's not what we're looking for. Even if it's 20%, but am I in balance? Because if we are not, then we know where to improve. We know where to make the changes. And we need each other to motivate on areas that we're not doing well. Okay, so that's...
I never thought about the imbalance, but it's now you've mentioned it, it's obvious.
Yes.
Now you've obviously gone off one way, doing too much of one thing, and the rest have fallen by the wayside.
Yeah.
And so the imbalance comes about. I just didn't think about it like that.
And you know, if you think, I wish I had my paper, and we will talk about it again. But if any bit of it is not balanced, you know, think of this wheel, okay? Because your part of the wheel will be here, and part of that wheel will be here. It's going to get knocked down. It can't roll. Okay. Maybe that anxiety or low mood isn't just mental health. Perhaps it's poor gut health, a lack of sunlight, or nutrient-starved brain. So easy for us to say, oh, they've got mental problems. And nowadays, more and more of this is coming through. Maybe they just don't have a friend to talk to.
But gut and mentally.
Exactly. So if the gut is not right, and I have visited and talked to people who are depressed. I'm listening to their story and how terrible life is and how everything is stood up. They don't even want the curtains open because they're depressed. What are they eating? Junk. And that's literally why? Because they don't even feel able to get up and do the right thing. One, they don't know. Two, we can be filling our stomachs but not with nutrition. So we are satisfying our hunger with stuff but not with...
And I suppose the lack of sunlight.
Sunlight, absolutely. They don't want to get up and go out. And yet if they do, they will come back feeling refreshed. I'm not saying depression will go overnight.
No.
But it's what you're doing, little habits that you're forming on a regular basis, consistent basis. And it's so easy for us to all get up and stop, you know, saying this, that and the other. No, for them it's real. And I appreciate it's real. But how we can help is not go to the doctor and get medication. Sometimes it's needed, don't get me wrong. But simple things like nutrition, water, sunlight, a walk in the park will do you a world of difference. Doesn't have to be an hour, it can be 15 minutes. But done regularly will make a big difference. Okay, possibly your high blood pressure didn't just appear overnight. Maybe it's been building silently because your body's been lacking movement, hydration, and calm. Blood pressure, hydration, calm, and movement. And they've done research on this. You do exercise. Why? It helps your blood pressure to come down. You hydrate your body with water. Well, look at this. We've got beetroot here. Juice the beetroot. You've got celery. I'm sure I've seen celery here. Juice that. That gives you hydration, it gives you sulfur, all the nutrients that you need for your blood pressure are there. Instead, what do?
Reach for the tablet.
Reach for the
Even
tablet.
for the diabetes.
For the diabetes as well.
Yeah, because mostly the diabetes is caused by your kidneys not working well, and kidney need water. And celery is the medicine
Absolutely.
for kidneys.
Yeah. The same thing with cancer. And some of these juices, from my personal experience, celery, I used to hate celery.
I still
Hate
do.
is maybe strong, but I didn't like it. And then I had to drink celery juice. But what it did to me was amazing. It also has sulfur, yeah? We've got knees, joint pains. Hey, that's great for that. It's just knowing that these are here for us to use, for us to benefit. What is it? Tell me, honestly, which is the easier option though? Be honest.
It's better to prevent.
Yes, better to prevent. But if you're in it, which is the easier option?
Tablets is always the easy option.
Yes, I agree.
Just put it in your mouth and you swallow.
Swallow it and that's it. You have a headache. You never question, why do I have this headache? Well, probably because I didn't sleep very much last night. Because I was watching TV. Because I was doing this, that and the other. I went to bed late, got up early. I've got a headache.
With the headache, I always think of water first.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, have I had enough water to drink?
That's classic.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. When he was saying about water, it is so easy for people to have just enough water to take the tablet rather than drinking the water. There's a book, I wish I had got it.
What does a tablet do for you?
It does what the water should have done.
It doesn't even do what the water
I
should have
agree.
done.
It stops.
Water does more than the tablet. So because
That's-
the tablet is just take out the symptom.
Symptoms, yeah.
And yet water will really
Release.
heal you.
Yeah. Heal you.
The
Yeah.
thing is, I agree, yeah, but when you drink a lot of water,
You need to go to the loo.
so when you're for me,
Yeah. If
like,
you're traveling.
I'm on a building site and all the rest of it, every 5 minutes or every half hour, I'm constantly, I know it's important, but there is that side of it as well. In the middle of the night, like about 4 or 5 times going to the toilet. So
I understand.
yeah.
And when I
Yeah.
have talked
For that
to
small
hospital
example,
workers. Sorry, go on.
for that small example, if you keep a little bit mud on this one, if you keep little water, it will go with. If you add more water, it will be get clear in our body also. If you keep on taking water, it will also clean our body. If you keep on taking, it will clean our body.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree, and I do drink a lot of water. It's just
But
I'm just mentioning that as a side
yeah.
that happens. That's all.
I've talked to health professionals like nurses, etc., those in working homes. Oh, he says that we're not allowed to go on breaks. You're a human body, you're not a robot. You have to drink and you have to go to the loo. Natural consequence.
I don't think that is true. Going to the toilet is not prohibited.
No.
No, but
No.
that, inevitably they will tell you that. Oh, you
Yeah.
don't know, and they're telling me you don't know how busy I am. I'm
They-
not a health
It's
professional.
not there.
I'm not a nurse. I don't have to do that. But if you need to go, you need to go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're not allowed to go to the toilet. I'm just saying when you're working,
I know.
every half hour you're working, and then you got to stop, run, and then. But I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just.
Can I give you another? I listened to a podcast, and they were talking about the brain, and they did a research Now, I know this is, from practical point of view, you might disagree, but that's the research. They had a group of people who worked for 20 minutes, 5 minutes off, and then worked 20 minutes, 5 minutes off. So they did this for a certain length of time. Then there was another group of people who worked for an hour, 5 minutes off. Again, work for an hour, 5 minutes off. And I can't remember what the different groups were. But again, they had a break, but after a longer time. All of them had results wherein they benefited because they had 5 minutes off their work schedule. The group that benefited the most was those who worked for 20 minutes and had 5 minutes off. Now, if I'm working, on the computer, etc., if I leave every 20 minutes, I'm going to forget my flow. If I'm working on something, you can't just leave. You have to continue doing what you're doing. On a building site, at a hospital, wherever you are. But when you think that your efficiency has increased significantly, then what do? You have a choice. So, drinking the water, actually it will increase your efficiency. One, because your brain and all the cells in your body get more water. But you have to have a break to be able to, utilize the water you've drunk. So your efficiency increases, so you can't give me that excuse anymore. I know what you're saying.
No, yeah. I think, I wouldn't. I suppose it could come across as an excuse, but maybe when you think
We
of
all
it,
do that.
when you think of it differently like that, then maybe try it
Yeah.
and actually see the benefits.
Yeah.
Try it and see the benefits.
And actually, what I forget, and I should have quoted there's another research when they talk about drinking sips of water or drinking chunks of water, and how that makes a difference. When you drink the water, how you drink the water.
I generally drink. I don't drink sips. I generally drink
Fuller.
quite a bit.
Yeah, at a time.
Yeah.
In which case, you shouldn't really be running to the thing that often. You will go, but that's it. So there's a difference. I mean, this is just to let you know, this is just the basic we're talking about, and we will talk about all of these sessions, when we have health specific topics to be done. Because that is the idea, to really learn more about this. Okay, potentially, what you think is genetics is actually generations of habits being repeated. But you can be one to break the cycle. How many times have you heard people say, that's genetics? The Bible also talks about, the problems going with third and fourth generation. Can you break that cycle? On our own? No. With the help of the Holy Spirit? Yes. With the help of God and prayer? Yes.
I thought genetic was in your DNA, so you are programmed.
What's that saying? The choices you make makes a difference to your DNA, the response of your body to the DNA as well.
Okay.
Ellen White talks about it. There's a quote that I kept from Ellen White's Step to Christ.
Oh, yes.
It's just a small sentence about self, because we say, oh, this is in our family. Oh,
Yes.
blood pressure is in our family.
Yes.
Diabetes is in our family.
Yeah.
And Ellen White talks about breaking away from self, because we put this on ourselves. She says the warfare against self is the greatest battle ever fought.
Mm-hmm.
We get these habits,
Yes.
and it's very hard. And there's something Aristotle said as well. He said, I count him braver who overcomes his desires than he who conquers his enemy to the hardest victory over fought his self. If we don't break the habits that we were born with, it's like people who say, I'm a criminal because my father was a criminal.
Yes.
I'm a drunkard because my father was a drunkard.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with food. It's the same thing with the habits, health
Absolutely.
habits.
Yeah.
They're advertising Head and Shoulders. So
Yes.
I will use Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
And yet Head and Shoulders has got chemicals that can bring diseases to
Yeah.
you. And it's those things that we don't want to break away from,
Uh-huh.
that we stay with.
And we reason them out.
And we reason them out as genetics.
Yeah.
Most of
Yeah.
The wonderful thing with what you're doing here, though, Naomi, is that you're opening it up for people to see, because the reality is many people only know what they've been told
Yeah.
by society,
Yeah.
what they hear on the news, what
Bombarded
they see
with.
on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, genetics is something that can't be broken.
Mm-hmm.
But as you do these programs, as you talk about the Lord, and as you give experiences about how God and a changed lifestyle has helped others, then it helps people to see, hold on a minute,
Yes.
everything that I'm hearing isn't necessarily true. And that can be a catalyst for people understanding and seeing things differently.
Different.
But
Yeah.
what you don't know, you just don't know.
Yeah. I completely
Yeah.
agree. And see, many times what happens is,
Yeah.
even for us, that's why I changed the style today. I can come and give a talk on health. Yeah.
Lecture.
A lecture. So that's passing information from me to you. And you think, oh, it was a great day. Then you go back, life doesn't, everything, nothing changes, life continues. But we need to understand the why. And if we understand the why, then it's more likely that we can be motivated to do the right thing. Take the small steps. That will help us. Okay, possibly pre-diabetes diagnosis was a wake-up call. Or maybe it's the opportunity to finally reset and reclaim your health.
The problem with diabetes, when the orthodox doctors say you've got pre-diabetes, people ignore it. They think it's not eating salt. They think it's not eating
Sugar.
That's all they look at. And then when the diabetes come, the first thing they'll give you maybe insulin or whatever tablet they give you. Instead of you telling the doctor, no, I want something that has got nothing to do with the pharmaceutical thing. People will just go and take those things. Those
Easy
things,
option.
Yeah, easy option, but it increases the sickness.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
They will start you from 5 milligrams of metformin.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the third year, you've got 50 milligrams.
Yeah.
So
And it's for life.
What was the point
Yeah.
of taking them if they are increasing
Yeah.
the medication?
Because the medication should really be
If you're
reversing.
reversing.
But it doesn't.
But people, I don't know, maybe we've been brainwashed.
We are brainwashed.
Maybe
That's
we've been
definitely.
brainwashed. You hear a person saying, I've got diabetes tablets, I've got high
Yeah.
blood pressure tablets. And I think it's being brainwashed because you can see for yourself the results that is getting worse, but you keep on taking them. When they say take 1, take 2, take 1, 4, you keep on doing it. Why don't you ask why? Why is it not reversing it instead of increasing this?
Because a lot of these lifestyle illness, and that's what he says, lifestyle illness, comes on later in life.
Uh-huh.
By that time, you have ingrown habits.
That's it.
Yeah? Habits. And the older you get, the more difficult it is to change your ways, to change your thought pattern. And so people have done it like this for so long. You know, I want a quick fix, Naomi.
Yes.
And the quick fix is just give me the tablet.
Yeah.
I don't have to go for a walk.
Yeah.
I don't have to drink any water.
Yeah.
I want it done, and I want it done last year.
Yeah.
And so it's a combination of that thing that you're stuck in your ways. You haven't got the will. You haven't got the knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have information from the TV, from the radio, from the computers, but they all are giving conflicting information. You know that a few years ago there was a big article in the paper saying about red wine, how it's good for the heart. Do you remember? It was a full page article, big hold lines. And so we said, well, that means a little bit of red wine is good for you. Why? Because, hold on, did you read the rest of the article? Because the rest of the article mentioned resveratrol, which is in red grapes. Yeah. So, you can have red grapes, which has resveratrol in it, and it's good for the heart. It doesn't have to become red wine for you to benefit from. But red wine is what I would like to have. That's what society would like. Advertising. So it suits me to use that as a tool to justify why I should be drinking. Let's go back to the roots. Aspirin. How was that created?
I put meadow sweet there for
Thank
that
you.
reason.
Thank you.
I put meadow sweet there. Don't drink aspirin. The residues go to your blood cells. They go to whatever cells. We've got 100 million cells in our body.
And it stays there?
And aspirin stays in each and every cell as long as you're drinking it. The liver has got no capacity of
get rid-
digesting cell and getting rid of it. It doesn't have that capacity. The more you drink aspirin, and they say you're thinning your blood, the more you're going to have hands like Trump. Yeah. Because they said he was drinking aspirin for many years.
Yeah. But that is recommended.
It's got nothing to do with thinning blood. You can thin blood with your meadow sweet. You can thin blood with your horseradish. You can thin blood with a lot of things. Why go for aspirin?
But then, Priscilla, you have studied that. You know it. We don't. So your voice has to come out louder. Because only then can we start putting these into one herb. If you teach us on a regular basis, will make a big difference. Now, I've got some very simple things here. It should be in every household. Garlic, ginger, turmeric. Highly anti-inflammatory. They can be used for so many things. In fact, I remember years ago when there were lots of Indians coming over from India, to do the nursing and this, that and the other. I remember this lady very clearly saying to them, now you've got to be careful what you cook at home. Because what you eat, the smells of those garlic, ginger and spices, when you come out, we can smell them. So you've got to be careful. You're in a different land with different expectations and people have, so you need to be careful. Now, what is the Western world saying? Oh, how garlic is wonderful. Ginger is wonderful. Turmeric, and the prices you pay for that is high too. Why? Because they're good for you. Hey, we've used it for centuries. Well, again, coming back to what we originally said, it is easier to have a tablet. But put this regularly in your diet. Put it in, lots of ways to put it. So all I was doing all that, I rang Priscilla the other day and I said, this is happening. She says, have the garlic tincture. Very strong. You only need a drop or two. Pooh, what a difference it made. It's just understanding that these are powerful medicines. And the medicine is your fruit. What does Hippocrates say? You know? Let food be your medicine. But that is if you know how to use food.
And there's another thing that we talked about, that sometimes it's hard to get off old habits.
Oh, yeah.
And when these diseases come, we are already old and we are so engraved in our habits.
Yeah.
There's a quote that I pointed out. Today I came with a lot of quotes. There's a quote that I lined out here. It is from Thomas Kempis. I think many of you know about Thomas Kempis. He says that God often gives in one brief moment. If you trust in God, He will give you one brief moment, that which He has for a long time denied. Even if you didn't know about these things, we cannot change ourselves only through the power
Of the Holy
Of the
of the
Holy
Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And if you really want to change, God will give you just that
Enough.
promise. It will cover the 60 years you've been living badly. It's not too late to change.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yes.
the last company that I worked for, we were very good at safety. You're talking health. I want us to look at safety at the workplace. Well, safety, in 2014, we were the best company where I come from in Zimbabwe,
Right.
the whole nation in terms of safety.
Right.
But it took a while for us to get where we got. And there was a term that we used, which I still use in my life today, which is continuous improvement.
Hey, yes.
That term means you don't sit still and say, this
After we've
is
done it.
where I am and this is where I'll continue.
Yeah.
So each year we would review how we performed and then bring in new aspects in terms of safety that we could, inculcate in our system.
Yeah.
And then next year we will be better
Yes.
than what we were
The previous.
last year.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of health, the same applies. As we sit here, we are not on the same platform.
No, agree.
We are, but if we use the term continuous improvement,
Yes.
I've got my own continuous improvement
Yes.
to do. My brother here
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
If I'm not drinking enough water, then I'll look at it that way.
Yeah.
You spoke about taking celery.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to respond to our taste buds.
Yes.
But now, if we're going to look at health and say, look, it's how important it is to me, regardless of how I
It
need
is.
to respond to my taste buds. But I will have this because it's good for me,
Yes.
regardless. So I think this term continuous improvement should apply to all of us.
Absolutely.
As we live today, that's a take home where each one of us will say, look, I think I've been taking too many tablets.
Yeah.
What can I take instead of this tablet so I think for us it's going to assist us.
Thank you.
Each
In
one
fact,
of us.
if you don't mind, I would like to start using that term, when I'm talking about this.
Oh,
Because
you're
it is
allowed to.
very important,
Continuous.
that continuous improvement. I
Yes.
totally agree.
So,
Yeah.
are you saying that ginger, garlic, and turmeric is supposed to be always be part of our...
Every day we should be having that.
It's not like that you have to cook it. Sometimes, like the other day, you put it in water
Yeah?
and you're drinking that
Drink.
water.
Yeah.
Celery is not like every day you have to juice it. There's celery salt.
Yes?
You can use that
In your
instead of in your cooking.
Yeah?
Instead of using the salt that will give you problems.
Yeah.
There's celery seeds. Even when you're doing your porridge, celery seeds you can put in anything.
Does it have a flavor though?
No, it's just got that tang flavor you get from celery.
Okay.
Celery you can put in your porridge, celery seed you can put in anything. You eat celery seed every day here when I cook.
Oh,
because
really?
all my cooking is got celery seed and celery salt.
Okay.
So you eat it every time when you're eating in church because I put it every day.
Yeah.
And in my porridge, I always put celery seeds. And it's celery salt is not like it's a salt that's going to give you problem.
Okay.
It's a salt that's going to bring your blood pressure
Heat.
down.
Yes.
You use celery, the more you use it, the better. It's not like the salt you use every day. The more you use celery salt, the better.
Okay, so would you use the similar amount, like if you're putting ordinary salt, would you put celery salt similar amount, or it can take more?
You can take more to your taste.
Okay,
To
okay.
your taste.
Yeah, yeah,
I cooked lentil today.
yeah.
I didn't put anything besides celery and lemon. And people will never know there's no salt there.
Right.
Because I never put it.
Brilliant.
It's celery and lemon. And
Brilliant.
make that as salt.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
put celery seeds as well, because I put celery seed in everything. Because celery is good for every part of your body.
That's true.
It's good for
Yeah.
every part of your
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
Ginger, as Naomi said, sometimes I use juice.
Yeah,
I juice it.
yes.
Sometimes I make it into a tincture.
Mm-hmm.
Same with garlic.
Mm-hmm.
I juice it, I make it into a tincture. If you don't like the smell of garlic, did you smell it in the tincture?
No.
You just put a few drops
Yeah.
in the water. Just one drop is like 6 cloves,
I know.
cloves of garlic.
Garlic, yeah.
Just one drop with 6 cloves of garlic. You can put it in your drinking water, in your drinking bottle every day. And that is just health for you.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
don't need to have
When
to
you
cook
know,
it.
you know.
When you know, exactly. This is what we're saying. It's sometimes opening yourself
Yeah.
to learning and finding out. You know, ginger, when I did research on ginger, it's as good as having chemotherapy. Can you believe it? Would any doctor ever advise you to have, increase your ginger?
So, can I ask one thing about the garlic? Can you crack the garlic and then drop it in a bottle of water that you carry?
Very-
Does it make a difference?
It does. It does.
It does?
The
Yeah.
only thing that is really medicine to you in garlic, if you open garlic, do you see the inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you crack the inside, that's where the smell is.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the parts of the garlic outside, they don't do anything to your body.
It doesn't smell.
It's just the taste.
Okay.
But the thing that is medicine is the center of the garlic, where you see there's a small like bubble thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the only medicine for you.
Yeah.
So once you open that and crack it,
Yeah.
then you have medicine.
Can I just mention something that Roger mentioned as well, which I think is crucial as well, very important point, about taste,
Oh, yes.
because often the thing can be really good for you, but the taste buds say no,
Yeah.
and there's many things that initially I could not stand, did not like at all.
Uh-huh.
But what I found is, if you endure, your taste buds somehow over time
They change.
can change
Not that they will.
and get used to
Yeah.
what you're taking. But a huge amount of people, I know this, a lot of people will not have because of the taste.
Let me share with you a story. And these are, I'm sharing this with sadness really. 2 stories. One, I had a father of a 4-year-old contact me. The child had chemotherapy, the child had cancer. 4-year-old. She had it from when she was 3.5. I listened to the whole story, and then the father said, I said, okay. He was referred to me, to be able to have a chat with him. So I said, okay, now I've heard your story. Tell me what is the diet of the child? Oh, he said the normal. What is normal to you may not be normal to me, may not be normal to you. So I said, okay, let's break it down. What did the child have for breakfast, what it had for lunch, and what the child had for tea. I could not believe it. There was no color on that plate. No fruits, no vegetables. Or in the form of fruits and vegetables, let's put it like that. I had to control myself from telling the father, well, what do you expect? because that's not what they wanted to hear. But the child had, at the age of 4, so he says, why are you, now this is the father telling me off, saying, why are you asking me about the food? Because none of the doctors ever asked us. She was in hospital for 6 months having had chemotherapy, so immune system completely knocked off. What is the food she had in the hospital? That's what she had. She had the burgers, she had the chips, she had this, she had that. And the desserts with sugar in it. How is that parent going to deal with that child with cancer? So I said, okay, let's try. So I went to the child. I was away. Then when I came back, I said, have you introduced? Oh no, no fruits. You know what they had done? They had changed from ordinary burgers to organic burgers. But they were still burgers. So I took a whole lot of things to the child. I made juices, smoothies, cut up some fruit salad, did some dehydrated fruit for the child, made some ice cream, just so that I can see what would the child like. Now, the child has not been exposed to this, so there's something I have to try and give the child. When I gave it to the child said, she tried some, liked some, she didn't like some, which is totally understandable and fine. What came as a bigger shock is when I was talking to the parents. The mother says, now if you think I've got to change and eat all that, you've got another thing coming. My jaw dropped. This is a mother saying she's going to continue her lifestyle in nutrition, but if you want the child to heal, then that's what's going to happen. If we as parents don't make the change, how can we expect the child? So I said, hold on. I said, does that mean you're sitting at the table, you and your husband will have one meal, and your child will be expected to eat this? Can you think about it? This is not one odd case. I had another 23-year-old university student from Gloucester actually. I had done a presentation in London. Mother wasn't there, but a friend told her, mother ring, can you please help? I said, what's the problem? The young lady had been diagnosed, with cancer, breast cancer, 23-year-old. I said, okay, she's an adult. What's your diet like? Normal. What does a normal student eat? Burgers and chips and Coke and, the norm. We know what the norm is. So I talked to her and I don't know, I was very nice to her. And I said, we need to add some fruits and vegetables to the diet. Totally didn't really want, because she didn't like it. Of course she didn't like it, because all she was used to was that. They were in London, I'm here in Solihull. So I said, okay, let's meet halfway. At a service station. I had done a whole lot of things. Try this, try this, try this, try this. Okay. She goes away. 2 days later says, can't stand it. I don't like the fruits, I don't like the vegetables. I pleaded with her. This is a 23-year-old girl. This is not a 4-year-old child. Anyway, apparently they might have increased some fruits and vegetables. But when you've got cancer, you're talking serious. Then I had a phone call from this girl. I could hardly hear her because all I could hear was this girl crying. She had had her first session of chemotherapy. And she says, I cannot stand it. You couldn't stand the fruits and vegetables. Now you go to the other extreme of having chemotherapy. What is your choice? What are the habits that you have formed? We take medication, I agree, because it's a serious, now the body has gone really far and needs to make a difference. Now tell me, what is worse, your taste buds when you're 3 and 4 and increasing, or your chemotherapy attack when you're 23? I'm not saying you don't need, cancer will not, there are loads of reasons. There's environment, there's loads of things, what is put into our food. I agree with that. We don't live in a perfect world. But we still need to take responsibility for what we eat, how we eat it, the information we're gaining from it.
I think we were at the stage where our information comes from the young TikTok
Yeah,
and the internet,
yeah.
and we've gone off reading.
Yeah, but how many people read books now?
Exactly.
Illnesses come from various.
Yeah,
Sometimes we're exposed without knowing.
absolutely.
When we're talking about health, we're not saying you're not going to get ill.
No,
Sometimes we are exposed in things, chemicals, whatever, without knowing.
yeah,
Sometimes it's illness by choice.
yes.
I say that to my patients. So this is your illness, but it's by choice.
So health can be by choice as well.
Health can be by choice. Illness sometimes can be by choice. And there's illness that comes, like we are sinners. We are born of sin, in a world
Absolutely.
full of sin, and we will get ill. That is a process.
Yeah.
We will die. That is a process.
Small example, man. Olden days, most of the people, they survive on the seasonal foods.
Yes.
Like seasonal fruits only.
Seasonal, yeah.
Nowadays, pizzas, burgers,
Yeah.
nowadays it came.
Yeah.
And as it came, it is also increased.
Yeah.
Before, like our grandmother's days, they used to eat like a seasonal fruit. When they they go for work, nearby there will be some plants.
Yeah.
Either maybe palm fruit, something,
Yeah. Or guavas, or mangoes.
or mangoes, guavas, or something according to seasonal.
Yeah.
For every season, there will be different fruits.
Yeah.
When they had that fruits, they used to never go to hospitals anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
And they used to brush with like a neem stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, you get the branch, the sticks.
Of neem.
I remember, yeah, and you just chew it.
Yeah.
And that's a very good cleanser. It's naturally anti-inflammatory, naturally natural antibiotic. Brilliant.
At that time, there is no medicine.
No.
And most probably there will be no disease also.
Yeah, but you know now what
But-
people will say? They don't want to do that because that's very old-fashioned.
I will tell you a secret. We still have neem sticks.
You do?
Yes, you can buy them from Amazon, from everywhere. We
I
still
didn't
have neem
realize that.
sticks to clean our teeth. But the thing is, people think if they're having that electric toothbrush, it's more better than brushing with the neem stick.
Of course.
If I have this that is popular, it's better than doing this that is traditional.
Yeah.
It's not because it's not there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
God said He gives us herbs for our
For the-
medicine. He
Yes.
gives us fruits for our bread. It's not because we are not. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's because we have a choice.
Yeah.
We've been so consumerized that
Yes.
whatever is advertised on TV, mostly whatever is Western,
Yeah.
has become more popular than the traditional things.
Yeah. Yeah. But that makes money though. The traditional things don't make money.
Don't make money.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that is where what we have been talking about is the question was, I don't know if I mentioned it, but where are you now was the question. Okay? That's where we are now. Where would we like to be? Where would we want to be?
By God's grace, I would like to change my lifestyle.
Yes, I agree.
I want better health.
Better health, yes. And now when you're talking about health now, we said there are different aspects of the... So do you think you have a balance in your health? Oh, thank you. Yeah? Do you think you have a balance? When you talked about the social, the physical, the emotional...
can do better.
Okay. So, imagine with me. And I really want you to listen. I've got 10 points here. All the 10 points may not be where you are or where you want to be. But just imagine. Imagine walking up with energy, not grogginess. You stretch, take a deep breath, and feel thankful. Not tired. No alarm dread. Just clarity, peace, and purpose. Very different lifestyle to what we're used to, isn't it? Visualize a moment where you no longer need that daily medication. Not because the disease vanished magically, but because your body has healed and thriving. I don't know what medication anybody over here is, but imagine that. If you have even a headache, let's as simple as headache, what we talked about, aspirin, you don't have to take that. Why? Because your body is now in balance. Picture a time when your children or grandchildren say, "You inspire me to take care of myself." That your health choices ripple into generations. We talked about breaking that cycle. The cycle will not break until you make choices to break that. And as has been pointed out, it's never too late. You can make a difference. You can make a difference for yourself, but more importantly, we as the older generation, should I say, have to make a difference, otherwise it's not going to go down to our next generation and the generation after that. We have to change. Picture a time, okay, I've said that. Imagine walking up a flight of stairs without gasping for air, without aching knees, just strength, confidence, and ease. And don't tell me that none of us have that. Even if you're young, you could be having that. But if you're doing the right things, if your body is in balance, then we can imagine. Visualize sitting at a doctor's office and hearing the words, "Your blood pressure is perfect." You reverse the risk. So it could be risk of diabetes, of blood pressure, of heart problems. These are lifestyle diseases. It is in our hands in many ways. Will it change overnight? No. Because you have brought your body to that place for a long time. You've been, should I say, I don't like to use the word, but for a better word, abusing your body for that long. It'll take time to reverse. It will reverse. And it will make a difference. But you have to make a choice. Overnight? No. Make small changes. What's the word?
Continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement on a daily basis. Envisage a typical day that doesn't begin with rushing or end up with regret, but flows with rhythm, time for movement, prayer, laughter, and nourishing meals. When we were children, that's what life was. May not be for our parents, but for us as children, that was life. And that was enjoyable. Can that be for us? You know what the Bible says? Jesus says, be like little children. Just because you got grey hair does not mean you can't be that and you can't enjoy that. Picture picture walking through a farmer's market knowing exactly what your body needs. Farmer's market. I'm not talking about Tesco's and Sainsbury's. Feeling empowered, not overwhelmed by food choices. Imagine what it would feel like to have the skin you're in, to look in the mirror and feel gratitude. Not criticism, for what your body can do. You know, when I talked about attitude, I didn't actually give a breakdown of the various start anew principles, but it's sunshine, what we said, vitamin D, but just the feeling good factor. Does you good. You know, on a summer's day, you get up and open the curtains and the sun comes streaming in. Even if you've got a whole things on your mind, you feel good. We need that sunshine. The temperance, you know, avoiding things which are not best for your body. And then learning what is not best for our body. We talked about the sugary drinks, the sugar impact, the fat impact, the highly processed foods that we have. Things that we can do without. Not just convenience. The fresh air, you know, walking out in the garden, walking out with greenery, just taking deep breaths, even if you can't and don't feel unable, you feel unable to pop your head out of the door and take some deep breaths. Again, breathing. There's so much to learn about breathing. Just learning to take in deep breaths, holding the breaths, and then letting go. Slowly. Why are we talking about all these things now? You know, over the last few years, above all other time, COVID has taught us that these people with these challenges had real problems. We needed, what do you call it? No. We were forced to take injections for that. Why? I'm not going into what we should and shouldn't do. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, even those who took it, if your immune system was not good, if you were not balanced, if you didn't breathe and, you know, take in deep breaths and strengthen your lungs, what was happening? You were falling down to it. You can protect yourself, and you protect yourself now. Deep breaths on a regular basis. So that's where did we come? Air, rest, go to bed at a decent time. Some people say, oh, they can't sleep and, you know, all those things. The first question should be, am I in balance? If I'm not in balance, where am I not in balance? Because then I could go to sleep. And if I do sleep well, then my next day is better. And I don't have headaches and I don't have some of the other stresses. I can cope with life much better because of that. Trust in God. You know, what we're talking about are simple things. Really, there's nothing complicated in it. It's all simple. Is it easy? Well, that's the challenge. It can be easy, especially if we choose to make the changes now. Small changes, continual improvement. Picture yourself, your future self, strong, joy-filled, and full of purpose. They're thanking you for starting your journey today. What are your choices? You know what we didn't look at is the Bible promises. What does God want from us? What has God... I mean, are we just doing this for ourselves? Yeah. But God has also said that this is the temple of God. I don't know if any of you have visited India. Beautiful temples. and lots of, the work that is done is beautiful. Around the temple area, you'll find a lot of rubbish. And the people who maintain the temples are very good in making sure that the temple is clean. Now, our environment makes a difference as well. If our body is the temple, how should we keep it? How should we treat it? It's a question we all need to ask ourselves. Nobody needs to know, but we need to know because we want to look good and feel great. We want to feel good, as in not have these diseases, that we talked about. Don't wait for something to happen wherein we have to go to the doctor and the doctor says, you're pre-diabetic, or, you need blood pressure tablets, or your heart is not functioning. Don't wait for that. We make these changes now. We don't have to do that. Will we might be in a situation where after doing all these things we still get that? Yes, because that's the kind of world we're living in. But I'll never forget, why do we wear a seatbelt in a car? Does that mean we'll never have an accident?
I have heard of an accident.
Sorry?
I have heard one.
You don't listen to you then. By law, we have to keep. But the reason we're wearing a seatbelt is to protect us as much as possible. Not that we're not going to have an accident or that we drive badly. That's not the reason. Why are we trying to have a holistic lifestyle? Because we want to protect ourselves as much as possible. If at the end of that you still have cancer, lots of reasons.
The immune system was just better.
You're able to fight much better.
Able to fight. We have a better chance of fighting.
Better chance of fighting. I don't know if you know or no, but I was challenged with cancer. Now it's 18 years ago. Well, probably 19 years ago. At that time, I had been given months to live, and I had to have a mastectomy, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and I chose not to have the chemotherapy and radiotherapy. But I went to a lifestyle center. When I went there, I expected what they were going to do to me to be really, spectacular. And I thought, drinking more water, eating good nutrition, walking, yeah, okay, I do that. What was so great about it?
Didn't need to pay money to do that.
Exactly. But when I now share that with other people, that look, these are some of the basics you can do. People say, yeah, but what did you do? I just followed the basic principles.
I laugh because you remind me of Naaman. That's what
Naaman, yeah.
That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
God is very simple.
And he's already told us what he wants to do. He has already told us, I want you to have amazing health. When? When you go to heaven?
I think most of the time it comes to the relationship we have with God. Because if the Bible said in everything you do it into His glory. And if you think you're doing something that is not glorifying God, why do it then?
Because we don't know God.
That is it. We know about Him.
We know about Him.
But
no personal relationship.
Yes,
Yeah.
we don't know Him.
The biggest learning that I got from my cancer was what I was doing may not be as strict as I should be. I was drinking, I thought. I was eating, I was a vegetarian. I thought I had good nutrition. I was an active person, so as to walk regularly, Stress, I didn't learn how to manage stress until I had my cancer. I was a Christian, I came to church on a regular basis. So I thought my balance was right. My balance obviously wasn't. That's why I had to face cancer. But what I learned from it is, if you are faithful in what God expects of you, like he says in Deuteronomy, I will not put any of these diseases on you. If you,
And he says, I will heal all of them.
I will heal. Yeah,
I will heal all of them.
yeah,
But you have to trust him and obey him.
absolutely.
That is where the healing
And you
comes
know,
from.
this is what saddens me. Sometimes we come to church and we say, oh, can you pray because I've got this problem, that problem. That's not an issue. God answers our prayers. I believe that. But God also says, look, don't put poison in you. And do some of these basics, which I've already told you. We don't want to do that, but we want our prayers answered. And then we say, God doesn't answer prayers. Really? We need to question ourselves. Where do you want to be? And my question to you today as well is, where would you rather be?
Yes.
So, in closing, what I'd like to say is, I'd like to give some practical tips. We've already shared in various things. Physical, we said what Start Anew is all about. It's the nutrition, it's the exercise, it's the water, it's the sunshine. And small amounts. So, okay, see this? This is small, with Start Anew, my spokes. That means I might say 20% I'm following all of these things. But if you increase them on a regular basis and constantly making sure that you're following these simple habits, they will get bigger. But the balance is important as well. And sometimes what we do is we concentrate on one aspect and we harp on making sure that you're eating the right food. But I don't like some of the right food. Okay, make changes. The taste buds. It changes, I'm telling you. And the thing is, what is important? If you eat more, say, salads, etc., it cleanses your taste buds. When you eat more fruits and vegetables, it does cleanse it. And then when you have started eating some of these, if you put too much salt in your diet, you think, ooh, this is salty. Before, you didn't feel that because your taste buds and your tongue wasn't sort of cleansed, should I say. When you start doing that and then go back to something that you had before, you think, oh, that's too much sugar. I can't have that. That's too much salt. Because you're now tasting the fruits. You're tasting the vegetables. Not all the other things that are added, the fats and the sugars. I'll go through that very briefly because I want you to take time and look at that table with herbs as well. Because they are important. Just, even if you want to read, it's in short, Priscilla has put down what the herbs do. And when you understand what it does and how easy it is, then it can help you, make those next steps as well. Okay, for for our mental thing, mindfulness and attitude of gratitude in everything we do.
Amen.
If we don't have that attitude of gratitude, we really, really suffer. It's so easy to see what somebody else has, or, rather than being grateful for what you have and what God has done for you. And some people journal. Recently I've been sorting out whole boxes of various things, and I went through some diaries of mine. I started loads of diaries with journaling. I'm not good at journaling. But, going through, I thought, ooh, I probably had a problem there. Hence that my notes are very gracious in the sense, I'm thanking God for something quite specific. And I thought to myself, that's interesting. I must have had a problem. That's why, when God has helped me or guided me. You forget that. Then there's prayer, meditation, community worship. You don't have to be a Christian. But many times people recognize that there is somebody much higher than me. Somebody who has something in control. Acknowledging that is important. And social, supportive relationships, helping others. And that's why, Roger, we're so happy that you were part of this group and you supported us, and I hope we supported you too.
You did.
And it's important, and thank you so much for joining us today as well, because it's important, relationships. We build communities. If we are not willing to take the step, I think on both sides, we both miss out. And before we close today, I'd like you to just think of all the things that we've talked about today. Is there a goal for you for this week? Is there a goal for you for 6 months? Is there a goal for you for a year? Be kind and share with me what your goal would be. It could be as simple as, I don't think I drink enough water, so I'm going to increase my water. It could be as simple as that.
For me, it's the celery.
The celery. Oh, you're making me happy. Yeah. Yeah. And as you say that, what I'm hoping is that over the time, as we build this health aspect of it, we will help you with different ideas of how to use it, how to juice, how to use it in salads, how to use it in various things. Because we may not like it in one form, but we like it in another. Some vegetables are good cooked, some are good raw. Let's learn about them.
Yeah. It was the celery and the celery salt thing.
Yeah.
She was telling me those two.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Absolutely. No, celery salt for me as well. I have it in my cupboard, but I don't use it regularly because I really didn't know how to use it. So thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Yes.
No, I was thinking maybe we need time to ponder on that question. And while we do that, I had a verse here that I wanted us to share.
Please.
So a verse from John chapter 10, verse 10.
Oh, yes.
Jesus says the thief has come, or has not come except to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But he says, I've come that they might have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. And I've thought to myself that maybe the abundance of life, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll learn, or maybe more of it, even when we get to heaven, or whilst we're still here. Jesus wants us to have this life and have it more abundantly. What does that mean, to have a life more abundantly? Maybe what we're talking about now is the beginning of that abundance.
Yeah.
Because he wants us to have this life in abundance. So, there is more to life.
Absolutely.
And so, whilst we're pondering on what you've just raised, I thought I would share.
That's in one of my verses as well, but that is very true. And I thought I had a good lifestyle until something else happened, and then I changed, and I think, wow, I feel great. After I changed, I had a goal that in a year's time I would like to have a trek in the Himalayas, in the mountains. And I thought, no, who am I? I'm not an athlete. I can't do this. I can't do that. In fact, I wonder if you remember when I was raising funds for that.
I remember.
And I thought, well, I'm walking every day. And I started reading what I could do. And I did. I trekked the Himalayas. That's for 10 days. And 2015, I went with my son and another of his friend. And we trekked to Everest Base Camp. Now, as I said, I'm only an ordinary person, not an athlete, not a regular runner or anything.
The world say where there's a will, there's a way, but God says you can do anything.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
But it only happens if you have a goal. If you don't have a goal, things don't happen.
No.
So that's why I'm asking. Give me one thing from all the discussion that we've had today. What difference has it made, or will it make?
Yeah, I learned about balance, not taking just one aspect of our health,
Yes,
just like exercising, drink a lot of water, you don't rest. Sometimes you eat a lot of fruits, or
yeah,
you don't, you are not restful, you are not peaceful in your mind.
yes,
So there must be some balance.
balance, yes, yes, I agree, yeah. Anything?
I will try beetroot, I don't like it.
You'll try what?
Beetroot, I do.
You don't
it
like it?
most
Okay.
of the time, but I don't like the beats of it, and I don't have a juicer like yours. So my thing today is for these boys to buy a juicer. For me.
Oh, I can suggest a good juicer for you. Don't problem.
I just make it a smoothie, and I don't like.
No,
I don't
smoothie is
like
not
the
nice.
beans.
No, but the juice is really good. You
So
can buy
I
beet
drank
juice,
your
but it's
juice and I liked it, but the smoothie.
yeah. I completely
So
agree
I
with you.
haven't
I
had it.
completely support you in wanting to buy a juicer.
I haven't had it for a long time because of that. So boys, can you hear?
Birthday present,
Yes.
Christmas present.
No, I don't like presents. They just
No.
buy it because I need it.
Exactly. That is a present. It's something given with love. Is a present.
For me, before I left home, I had thought of going that way. Garlic, turmeric, and which is the other, ginger.
Ginger.
And as I speak now in my bags,
Mm-hmm.
I got up, I think, a kg of each. I've been taking it, although I've slowed down since getting here. But I've got it in powdery form.
Oh.
I take I buy some soups.
Uh-huh.
When I take that soup, I have those three.
Ah, nice.
My turmeric, my ginger,
Ginger and
my
your garlic.
garlic.
Very
A
good.
spoon of each. And I tell you, I saw the advantages.
Lovely.
So
It protected you.
yes, so I'll continue from there. That's
Yeah.
my starting point.
Yeah. Very
and then
good.
from there, I'll see where continuous improvement takes me.
Ah, exactly. Yeah. Because there's so many things over here that we didn't talk about.
But you mentioned these are expensive here. Now, I was thinking maybe I should think aloud. Where I bought them, they're not very expensive,
No.
but they're in dry powdery form. So maybe we'll talk.
Yeah. You need to talk to that lady because she will tell you exactly, what can be done. I went to Africa, Kenya, and we would for 4 weeks we were doing health programming. And one of the days, his family said, "We'll take you to Kissy," I think is the name of the place. So we were going over there, and we were chatting about different things. And I said about guava, how good guava is, and how high in vitamin C guava is. And they said, "Oh, no. So why? What's the problem? Oh, we've got these guava trees. We have to chop them down." I said, "Why?" I said, "That is, one of the fruits which is cheap, full of nutrition." And so they said, "No, but nobody eats them. They fall down and then they stink the place." Okay. And the other thing that he said is, guava is for children. I said, excuse me? Who said guava is just for children?
Try buying them here.
I know. So I said, okay, why don't we talk? Look, this is what you can do. And I was, at that time, I was well into raw food and dehydrating, this and that. I said, personally, if I had been given that opportunity just to dehydrate them and, selling them, there'll be so much better. But more importantly, how useful it is to us to be able to have it. And so, this is what happens. When we taste buds don't change, what we want to do is chop them off. So when in a car, when we're driving and the light flashes to say it's, overheating or the fuel has gone or whatever, it's like opening the bonnet and cutting that wire off so it doesn't tell us. This is what we're doing when we have a headache. What we're doing is having an aspirin which will cut off the message which the body is trying to tell you. Listen, there is a problem. So what we say is, yeah, I know we have a problem. I know I didn't go to bed. I know I haven't drunk enough water. But I can't drink water because I'll go to the loo and I don't have the time. All the reasoning. And all seems reason. We all have those reasons. Don't cut off the messages. Let's make a difference. Because it's going to help us, benefit us to look good, feel great.
It's the self. The self must die. Once it's dead, then people don't move. So, self dies, you don't move it to do things that you're not supposed to do.
The habits that we have formed over the years will not be easy to break and new ones to be formed. But it's essential that we break them and make the change. Is this possible? Yes, of course it is.
By God's grace.
By God's grace. Just to close, I'll finish with one story that I have. I was in Mauritius and I was doing this talk. And I noticed there were 3 people. I had done talks in different places. And this place, there was quite a big crowd. They came and sat right in front of me. And I thought, I recognize them. So they'd obviously been to one of my talks before. They came, they listened, they took down notes. And then at the end of it, the lady came to me. She wasn't very old, she was a young lady really. And she said to me, she said, you keep saying that it's easy. Then why can't I do it? And I said, you can. But I said, although it's simple, you need the support and also ask for God's help. I'm an atheist. I don't have a God. Now, I was quite struck by that because I didn't know how to answer that. Because for me, it was important that I prayed that God would help me. And it was His help that helped me through the difficult times. The difficult times being, having to eat lots of greens and have juices which I didn't think I liked. But it is important. So that's where the balance comes again, as you said. The spiritual aspect of it. You may not understand the term spiritual. We all might have a different understanding of the word spiritual. But there is a God who actually has created us. He knows what's best for us. He wants abundant life for us. And abundant life here and now. And He will help us through those to make the changes. And for me, the thing I like about it is those changes don't have to be made overnight. A step at a time. Choose one thing, whatever it is, and make those changes. Those changes, would make a big difference in the long run. Okay, now what we have for food will all be really good for you. You will enjoy it, and I hope that when you continue, going back home, etc., that you will continue. Just before I go though, I mentioned two things I didn't mention, which I would like to mention, which is causing a lot of problems. One is sugar and the other is fat. Now, sugar and fat is so much part of our lives. Do we need them? Yes, of course we do. Well, I think we need them. But the question is, what form of sugar and fat can we use? I've got dates here. There are different kinds of dates. Really sweet. In fact, they're sometimes more sweet than sugar is. And you can use this instead of. You can use sultanas. You don't like beetroot, you said, but beetroot is sweet.
Sweet, yeah. I like it.
Fruits, all these fruits. And diabetics tell me, oh, I'm diabetic, so I can't eat fruit. Really?
Yeah.
God created them
That-
for us.
I've heard that a lot.
I know, but they don't say that I shouldn't be eating the meat, the fat, that they shouldn't be eating.
The meat and the fat has got more harm
Harm,
to
exactly.
diabetics
I know.
than
The sugar.
the sugar.
I know. Yeah, I agree. Then we've got the nuts. When we talk about the fat, we've got the nuts, different kinds, and we've got a variety of nuts. We've got tahini. Anybody use tahini?
I do.
It's sesame, basically sesame seeds which are pressed. Olives. So, use these instead of the. So if you try and keep, what I do is keep one thing in mind: stay close to nature. If you stay close to nature, you don't go very wrong.
Something about the sesame seeds, oil, and the butter.
Mm-hmm.
Sesame is very good for inflammation.
Yeah.
Even when you've got inflammation tropical, you
Ah.
can use sesame oil.
Oh, really?
Yes, very good for you. If you've got inflammation
Inside?
tahini, and just drinking a spoon of sesame oil will take out the inflammation.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I use it instead of buying butter or margarine, which is really not the best for you.
Good.
Put some tahini on it.
Yeah.
Or even with cashew nuts or almonds or whatever, blend them. That becomes a great spread. It's oil, but it's fresh. You want to use the olives in your salads, gives you that oily texture, that fresh texture. Olives are great. Don't wait for it to be highly processed and it becomes easy. Because these are far better for you than the thing. Yeah, so please check it. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Sprouts. I don't know how many of you do have sprouts, but Viv has very kindly done mung sprouts. The nutritional value of this increases much higher than if you just use it when it's cooked. And what is also interesting, yesterday I did bring the comparison. The vitamin C increases when you have. One of the fallacies, should I say, about healthy food is people assume you have to be rich to be able to afford these things. And that to me is a big fallacy. Because you don't have to be rich to buy beans and lentils. That's your main source of protein, main source of fiber, main source of energy. You don't have to have meat to be able to have that. So, again, as I said, as we go through the weeks, we will learn more about how to use them, what you get from them.
Before we close, I want to mention this because some people you talk about palm sprouts and they don't know how to sprout it. You talk about all these vegetables, they don't know how to do it.
Yes.
We've got to start a new club. You can go on Facebook, you can
Yeah.
learn how to do this thing. and we got a Sunday evening Zoom meeting where we teach widely about all these things. Sister Viv is a good cook. She even made a flatbread
Oh yes,
with
using
callaloo, using
yes.
callaloo. I've got it there that I show you. Made
Yeah.
a flatbread using callaloo. Sister Naomi said she did those sprouts. Those are the beans that she buys from the shop like anybody, but sprouts them. When she sprouts them, they become big. We have learned about different kinds of beans we can sprout and how it's safe. We've got men, women from all over the world in that group. So if
Yes.
you want to learn,
Yeah.
if you want to learn how to make them, because here in church we can't
No.
elaborate much.
Yeah.
You join that group Sunday evening, you come with your agenda, tell Sister Naomi, I want to learn about this. And we'll do that, what you want to learn.
Yeah.
So I just
It's
thought
very-
I'll tell them because here you're just showing them. And
That's
because
true.
They don't know how to make it.
That's true.
So if you want to learn how to make the things, they
Yeah.
will go there. Sometimes we have the herbal things, but we concentrating on food things more.
Yeah,
So
because
they know
there's
how to make it.
you're very right. Because people will agree that this is good,
Yeah.
but don't know the how.
The how, yes.
And or like little things is like you said about the taste. Okay, you don't like it in one form, we can do it in another way to be able to see if you like it in another form. And it's just helping each other and saying, oh, I do this with it, or I do that with it, or I have this problem, could somebody help? That's the that's why we have the club, and we have been able to yeah. Yeah, so that's Sunday evening, 6 to 7, just for an hour on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are, you're still able to benefit. Okay. Before we remember I've mentioned this several times now about fellowship and about, being togetherness to do with our community. So I would like to ask, I'll call Vivian as well, Priscilla and Viv, to talk about that. Let me
I
just
saw
go
you
through.
running outside with the children. Before we go on that, can you stand up a bit and stretch and sing a song, number 65? Can we have number 65? Let's stretch a little bit. Before we go to that, it's just going to take 15 minutes, so it's not going to be long. I know Tabu is looking at me with an eye.